This is a reading for Libra, and this is just for the month of September. Additional read for those of you that are watching. So we're just going to get right into it. So what I see here is overall the cards do seem to be quite positive. When we start out, we are looking at the energy of the Lovers, so it does indicate that, and sorry, I should just start out and mention how my cards is I'll do the major arcana, let you know what are sort of the pressing things that are going on. You're not all making decisions on a Saturday or a Wednesday, so take it as it resonates. It may be something that's further out. You may be in this energy currently, or it may be something you're transitioning to. If it's not your story at all, then it's not your story. So we're going to start out with sort of the major arcana. So that would be, of course, the Lovers card. So a decision, a partnership, something around a connection is very highlighted here. The clarifiers I did actually the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Swords, or sorry, the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles. So those are really good cards. But the Fool card is also coming in very strongly here in terms of what's important. So what we'll do is we'll get right into it here. So again, as I mentioned, the Lovers card is an indicator that there is something here around a connection, a partnership that may be important to you. Could be making a decision as well. As we pull out the rest of the cards, we'll get a little more clarity. So there is something here that does indicate that there is something that you're very passionate about. It certainly does indicate that this is something that you're very, I would say, very well suited for. And for others of you, this is a situation really attracted to somebody. They're attracted to you. Sorry, guys. And with the High Priestess being at the end, that also is something hidden in a connection. And this could be extramarital situation or something around a family member, friend, or a co-worker that's interfering with that connection. So there's something to that effect there as well. But overall, I do feel like the cards are quite positive. So there is some sense of cooperation or partnership, some of a bringing together of a common goal and going forward in that situation. Could also be dealing with a Gemini here as well. But it does feel like there's a lot more of an empowering energy versus a differing energy. Now, the Seven of Pentacles is also that sign that... you know, this is something here that you're still in a space of contemplating around a connection. So there might be something you feel a little bit divided around, and certainly there is probably a duality that you're dealing with within someone or somebody or yourself. But either way, this is probably something here that that you're contemplating that needs to be, you know, needs to be assessed in some way. Seven of Pentacles, sorry guys, like I said, is definitely indicating that you're examining something about that current situation. And hi there, Kunal, sorry, or Kune, sorry if I'm horrible with names. Appreciate it for you guys stopping by. So anyway, like I said, Seven of Pentacles, it does indicate that there is something here still moving, but you're just taking a harder look at it. So I feel like you're kind of appraising what it is about this connection that you maybe need to be wary of, or, oh, you're from India. Well, hi from Canada. But there is something here that's still growing and still building. I'm in Canada, actually, in Alberta, but I was in BC for quite a while, actually, which is a beautiful place. But either way, Seven of Pentacles, like I said, this is where things just keep moving. So it is something that's going to pay off. But there's a sense that you have to be patient. And so there's something that you might be looking at that you are still contemplating and building and growing. So I feel like you're focused on your goals and how things will go forward. Now, Two of Swords with that Lovers card also indicates some sense of having to make a decision, possibly in around a connection here as well. The Two is, again, all about balancing those, but there's a period of waiting, and again, the Three of Wands came out there too, so there is a period of waiting here. But you're trying to make a decision or a choice in around some kind of a partnership here as well. But you're really sitting back and assessing where things are at. Like I said, the fact that it is a Two of Swords also means that there could also be some level of stagnant energy, something not moving forward. But it's still, you know, a fork in the road sort of moment. So there's a level of procrastination, decision to, you know, figure out how to end that stalemate, that immobilized energy. Either way, I feel like it's your time to choose something. So I do feel like you are still growing something. This could also be blocked emotions in around a situation, really focused more on money matters and mental energy with this combination of cards. I definitely feel like you're making, once you make this decision, there's going to be some forward movement. But like I said, right now, it just feels like you are getting clear on things. And that the Ace of Swords is here as well. So this is that indicator that you're getting clear on making a decision or trying to, you know, figure out what it is that you want. This is the ideas card. This is where something, it's not so much about, it's like you're getting honest with yourself about something with that Ace of Swords, and it's a logical, direct way of dealing with something. So it's like breaking away from an old belief system. It's like a breakthrough moment, and it is sort of pierced with the truth, basically. So this is intellect that is strongly coming in here. Could be dealing with a lot of things as well in terms of verbal connection that is direct communication. I do feel like the Three of Wands is still the card here where you're still waiting on things happening. So you could be waiting on something specific from this person here as well. But either way, there is a sense that you're at the door of it. It's past the Two of Wands. So, and hello there. Sorry, I don't know what the name is there, but hi. But I do feel with the Three of Wands, like I said, there's a lot of planning for the future, and there is definitely something that could be creative coming in here. Also seeing a bigger picture of it. I feel like you're on that threshold of success. So again, this is like that determined dreamer energy. Leo, Sagittarius, Aries as well coming through. But it's definitely something that's starting to pay off, and it's an important milestone that's going to put you on some solid ground concerning the long-term plan. I do feel like, and again, it's like you get the clarity in this month, in the month of September. So I do feel like something is going to be possibly communicated to you, but either way, it feels like something is going forward here. Now, the Nine of Pentacles, this is the clarifier to the Three of Wands. So I feel like wherever it is that you're headed, you're very close to getting there. The 9 is very close to the 10, so we are sitting at one stage before the finish or completion of something. Nine of Pentacles, it's a good time, independent. It's sort of an individual, sort of single nature. Doesn't mean you're going to be single necessarily, but it does indicate that there is a lot of responsibility possibly on you, but there is also that sense of self-reliance. So it's more along that line. So I feel like this is you claiming independence. This is more self-reliance. This is financial security that is going to be coming in for you, if not this month, very soon. We also have the Nine of Cups following as a clarifier. So I feel like you're going to get some kind of wish fulfillment. So something around finances is going to come in for you in the month of September. I do feel like you're undergoing some sense of improvement in investments, things of that sort. And it's whatever you've been wishing for or hoping for with that Nine of Cups energy, that is coming through, because the 9 is very close to a finish up cycle with the 10, and you're definitely in a really good stage of monetizing some. So I feel like you're not quite there maybe in September, but some of you maybe, but it just feels like these are the clarifiers. So I feel like this is just a little further out, but you are getting something that you wanted. So you can be proud of yourself, and this is going to be coming through very shortly. Sorry, guys. I feel like, again, you are moving into a space of abundance or satisfaction or something of that nature. There is greater fortune up ahead for you, and it feels like a wish comes true some way, and your problems are being left behind. And I feel like that's where the good news is. There's also possibly a celebration or something that's coming in here as well with the Three of Cups. And of course, this is your birthday month, so that could also be correlated to that. But there is some sense of celebrating with friends or family or whatever here. But I definitely feel like you're going away from a lot of the heavier events in your life where the difficulties were. And this is more of a showing of emotion. And this is where there's a lot more of a connection. So again, family reunion, you know, any kind of celebration, it's good fortune, it's, you know, and it correlates really well with the Nine of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups. So there's a lot of something that's coming forward that's blossoming. So I feel like a lot of things are, and this is actually the, not the clarifier, this is the one that just sort of came out. So I feel like there's been some sense of accomplishment for you in the month of September. Now, the Four of Cups does indicate that there is still something that you're being drained about. You may be rejecting an offer or missed opportunity. Either way, there's a sense of feeling a little deflated, and that's around the new project or something that you were doing. Maybe you're feeling like you haven't made as much of a as progress as you would have liked, something to that effect. But don't worry, things are still going in the right direction. So again, here it is, dissatisfaction or hurt feelings, regret, something like that that's sort of troubling. But I still feel like things aren't as bleak as making them out to be. The World card is also a card of connection, could also be a Cancer card, but there's a lot of success with that one. So I do feel like this is the finish up cycle. The World card is a whole new world that's opening up here. This is where you are possibly even travel or something like that for some of you, even though I usually see other cards of that. But what I see is sort of the unknown element that's still at the bottom here. So what I see here, again, this is also self-actualizing. And so it's like the full sense of something. Sorry, guys, my throat. One sec. So again, this is really focusing on, you know, finding what you're looking for. Whatever's beneficial to you is coming through here. It's more of an exciting, you know, adventure up ahead, because this is a coming to conclusion of a cycle, like I said, that you've already integrated. You already have some understanding of it. So this is success of that, and it's fulfillment. Now, the card below, and I'll give you a summary here at the end as well. This card is an indicator that, you know, this is highest goal reached. This is intuitive, following your intuition, strongly correlated in this right here as well. But I feel like whatever you've been waiting for, you're very, very close to. There could also be a sudden influx of money or something that comes through more than you expected. But there's a lot with the Hierophant as well as the World card, indicating that you're moving beyond something, possibly going abroad or considering going abroad here as well, or in touch with people that are abroad, you know, because it is more of a far-reaching card. Now, the High Priestess, like I said, is the things that have not yet quite materialized. There's some element that's an unknown. Again, this could be in around a connection here as well, but it's also in around the end cycle of your, which is the World card. So it does indicate that there is still something centered in a traditional, organized, well, I shouldn't say really traditional. I would say that this is more around realizing, you know, your sense of worth. And like I said, it feels like you're really prioritizing the unconscious or your intuition. It's like you're dealing with the hidden parts of yourself now, more so. But there is some knowledge, something that's still not there, that you can see. There's something that's still unknowable, and that may be because you're not sure. When the World card shows up, it's validation of strong spirituality. And again, it's a real download card. It's a card of a lot more coming in, but it's almost like you'll have a choice to make. And because you haven't made that choice yet, it's like it can't materialize to show sort of where we're headed with this yet, because that's at play. You're not really quite seeing the full picture with this card, but there is something that's yet to be revealed. And it looks like everything is more of a surprise and a positive, but you're focusing on what, you know, what you're following your intuitive. Could be dealing with Scorpio here as well, but I do feel like you're probing beneath the surface of things. You're asking the questions. I feel like you're kind of dealing with your own counsel at this time as well. But either way, I feel like it's really positive energy. Now we're going to recap it. Like I said, because a lot of the cards here. Oh, and I should mention, we also had the other cards coming out in terms of a project. Would be the Knight of Pentacles. So I didn't quite go through all of those, but that would be something that's moving. For those of you that have a specific project that you're working on, it is something that indicates still some slow progress, but it's very positive progress. And the Knight of Pentacles is doing it right, doing it the right way, like doing, well, I shouldn't say the right way, but doing it in a way that is very connected to slowing it down, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy here as well, but it's a very responsible, hardworking, dependable energy. Organizing everything, it's not being afraid of the hard work, it's focusing on the practical matters. This could be your energy more so in this month as well, but it definitely is a very practical energy. So setting those financial goals, sticking to them, that kind of thing, and putting things together. So again, if it's a budget or improving yourself steadily in some way, it's like that's what you're doing. And I feel like the focus is on nurturing your projects and doing things a steady way. Again, even in terms of a love connection, for those of you that have that situation, it feels like you're not changing energy here. You're just doing things in a going forward and methodical way, as I said. So either way, I still feel like everything is looking pretty good, but it's more so on the project end of things. You are really in control of that, and I feel like you are really trying to maintain stability with that. So this is organizing structure. There's a lot going on here as far as keeping things balanced, really devoting time and energy to it. And again, there's something here about, really being logical about things. So again, could be dealing with an Aries as well, come in with that project, but there is something here about a conquest, a victory, making some solid progress. I do feel like this is a good strong card of power and willpower, and because of the focused intention, it does feel like it's faster manifesting whatever this is that you're working on, because you're putting the plans into action, you're carrying them out, it's organized, and it definitely is about getting yourself to a place where you've really made a difference. So again, in terms of finances, I feel like you don't just start earning more money. I feel like you're creating opportunities for yourself because you have focused intent. And again, you may have a lot of options here, but there may also be some confusion about what to choose, again, with the Seven of Cups. But there's still a lot of energy here that speaks to very positive momentum. Again, there's a lot of fantasy, sort of, maybe thinking about how things are going to look over time. Any trouble distinguishing between, again, what's right for you at this time. It's hard to pick an alternative, but again, you're still fantasizing about, how things will go forward here with this project. So there is something here, that you're vacillating between, but again, I still feel like the energy is very positive, very energetic, especially with the Chariot, goal-oriented, strong focus, intent on what you want. It definitely feels like whatever it is that you're doing is going to be quite lucrative over time. It's reliable. I do feel like you will have a genuine opportunity coming in here, especially with the King of Cups. Could be dealing with a water sign here as well. And again, King of Cups is also mature energy, so it could be dealing with a father figure. Cancer sign, as I said, but it feels like there is something here around very positive manifestation. So like I said, the energy of a king is a mature energy. So whether this is you or someone else around you or both, it does feel like the emotions are balanced, or that you're in control of your emotions, in touch with your emotions. It does feel like this could also be around home, family, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio energy. There is something here about really keeping it together, very balanced energy, especially with the Libra energy coming out, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, Queen of Swords. So again, I feel like you are definitely in control of that. Part of your life seems to be very, that seems to be the thing that's you're very focused on anyway. So again, I feel like your home business might be flourishing here, or that there's orders that increase, the money starts to come in. There's something here about you wanting to leap forward. You're starting your days out a little more excited, that kind of thing in the month of September. And I feel like your answers are closer to home. And of course, there's also in control of your emotions, but mature expression of that as well. And it certainly speaks to a level of leadership. So again, there's something here about conquest kind of energy here as well. So you're really in control of how you're going forward. So now we're going to wrap that up and just kind of give you the overall summary of everything. For those of you that don't want to stick around for this part, you don't have to. But again, this is just to kind of wrap up what's happening for the month of September. So again, I do feel like There's steady, structured energy here. You know, you're emotionally aligned. There's a lot more momentum. There is a breakthrough and some clarity in the direction by the end of the month. I feel like a very strong, grounded energy. There's meaningful progress here as well, especially in the areas that require some clarity, structure, or emotional sort of balance that you weren't really sure about. That's in terms of like the career aspect of it. Now, I want to just go back a little bit with the other part of it, because what I saw there with, like I said, when we started out the cards with the lovers, I would say that you might be at a turning point here in a relationship or a connection. So it does feel like, you know, you're kind of contemplating, do I stay, do I go? You've invested a lot emotionally, energetically, you're waiting for some kind of real alignment, something to work out. You've been avoiding making a decision. There's pressure that might be mounting. I feel like the low point might be the emotional indecision or denial of what, you know, you kind of already know, but don't overthink, go inward. The truth is really there already. I feel like you're visioning forward with the Ace of Swords. And again, this is that moment of mental clarity. There's some kind of truth that kind of clears the fog. You see the path ahead here, and then you start to begin to plan. And it could also be a conversation or something that comes through as well about a new doorway opening up for you. There is a high point here where there's a breakthrough or an insight, a conversation that changes everything. And this is where you're honest with yourself. You don't fear what's coming. It's liberating in some way. I feel like that Nine of Pentacles energy with the Nine of Cups and the Eight of Cups is where you choose yourself. You walk away from something that's not emotionally fulfilling. Even if it's, you know, taking a bit of a loss, because there is already emotional detachment. It's not a loss, it's more of you just aligning yourself. So the low point is letting go and when it's necessary, and then the high point would be realizing you don't need anyone's approval to feel whole. You know, you walk away as an act of power, not failure. Then we have the card of rebirth and expansion. We have a celebration in this month. Again, the Three of Cups, the Four of Cups, the Fool, the World, all of that is re-engaging with joy again. There's more social energy, there's more friendships, there's more creativity, but you're also aware that not every off is aligned, and you know how to choose now. You know, you choose an emotional or spiritual cycle that steps you into a fresh start with the Fool. And it may be a mix of nostalgia, hope, but you are ready to move on. So you're looking for the high point being freedom and celebration and some kind of renewal, but the low point is feeling emotionally flat or unsure if you can trust again. So you're letting yourself be new, but just reminder, don't bring in old fears into the new beginning. And again, we get to the final card there with the High Priestess. This is your inner compass this month. So again, a lot of intuition that's coming in over logic. Although you do have a strong practical sort of moves that you're making in the external world, but it's a deeply spiritual month. So you don't just act, you feel your way through things in this month more so. And I feel like if something feels off, it is, and that's where you feel you can adjust, trust it, you stop overriding your own sense of knowing. But the first week, there may be some kind of relationship crossroad. Again, emotional indecision, internal conflict. But you're becoming aware of what's misaligned, and you stop waiting for the outside. Your gut already knows. By week 2, there's more clarity, there's more planning, there's fear acting on the truth, but there's a sudden insight, a mental freedom. So you use that truth as your weapon, but you don't run from it. By the 3rd week, I feel in September, there's self-worth, but there's also a sense of detachment. So the plan is to let go. So personal abundance and empowerment is where you're headed. You're emotionally walking away from the things that you can't control. There is a rebirth and a renewal of some sort by week 4. Again, still a sense of emotional numbness or distrust in maybe even some of the good things, but the celebration is here. The new start is here. The spiritual completion is here. And that's where the joy starts to return. And so you keep things, your discernment about, how you're setting up boundaries is very clear here. So in some way, you want to reframe, if I let this go, I'll be alone, but you're reframing it. If I let this go, I make space for what's truly aligned for me. So I want this to work so badly, but then you say, but I've seen the same pattern repeat. It hurts to leave, but it hurts more to stay stuck. Don't don't tie your happiness to external outcomes. Let your peace come from being in integrity with yourself. So in closing, that last set of cards here, again, this is more along your progress with your project. Again, it's steady, it's structured, it's emotionally aligned, there's momentum, there's a through, there is clear direction. I feel like the timeline is first couple of weeks, you're disciplined and really steady, focused, and practical. You may feel slow at times, but you're laying the foundation for the strong progress to complete. There is a consistent revision process going on here, but it does feel like possibly a little bit more of a grind, but I feel like you're sticking to a schedule, and I don't feel like you're waiting around. You keep to a practical, steady beat, so to speak. I do feel like, again, clear structure and energies are coming through, even though we've got that Seven of Cups. I still feel like by the second or third week, you feel overwhelmed with options or creative directions, or you may be facing too many ideas, or something is not quite clear about how to go forward in that second or third week. But don't get stuck in that space. You can get through the fog. There's a lot of cards that show me that you are. So week 3 to 4, period of emotional or mental fog, like I said, but then you lock in your direction and then you surge forward. A lot of willpower, a lot of progress, major momentum, and this is like a finished section of whatever it is that you're doing, a big chunk. So I feel like you're not letting your doubts distract you. And I feel like, again, there's emotional message here that's coming through, that this is something that's aligned for you, powerful, authentic. And I feel like you're unlocking a powerful part of yourself, something that's quite personal to you. And again, there's still the Queen of Swords here at the bottom, final card out. This is, where you are overcoming distractions, self-doubt. It's more of an authoritative card. It's very fine. So again, if we kind of break it down, just the overall progress, I feel moderate but steady, not rushed but consistent. Major progress in structure and clarity, and so something is coming together. And as far as emotional aspects of things, I feel like there's a deeper connection to your voice or your message. And the obstacles is that you have to counter this month would be the overwhelm or the overload, something of that sort. So again, there is more of a perfectionism or perfectionistic thing that you have to overcome with the obstacles with the Seven of Cups. And then finally, week 3, clear focus returns, momentum picks up, there's your breakthrough. So again, I just feel like everything here is showing that you're regaining your voice, you're regaining momentum, and I feel like you drive it home here. So this is, again, structurally sound. It just feels like everything is going to clear that mental fog, and again, it's through clear organization. So that's what I have for you, Libra, for the month of September. For those of you still following along, and appreciate the likes, the shares, and all of that, and the subscribers. So keep moving forward with